I've come to the conclusion that I don't have an identity. The moment I attach to one specific identity, you've either peaked or you're gonna be doing everything in reaction to that. As I've leveled up and continue to level up, there's just a new height you could always reach. There's just a new potential, because you can only look up ahead a couple steps and you're only gonna revert back a couple steps. Like, I'm not gonna just go back to some fucking loser tomorrow. Like, it's impossible. There's just too much growth. It's like if I put on 40 pounds of muscle and I take some time off, I'm not gonna go back to being a toothpick, because I've made so much progress that the drop down is just a little bit. When you're on complete rock bottom and you're just starting, yeah, you're gonna make progress and you have this identity. But if you just keep going 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, like, this guy won't even be a thing. On your off days, on your worst days, what you're worried about is getting back to here. But it's still never this guy, you know? So it's just a matter of consistently growing. Here's the other thing, is like, once you've gotten past this, and you're like up here, that's when you realize it's like, it's never about going back down to here. It's just a matter of like, well, I've just moved so much that it's evident I'm gonna keep growing and growing. You'll just continue to hit new levels. I remember doing this, right? Like, I was already at a pretty good level with my pickup, right? I was like pulling and closing pretty consistently. And then my YouTube channel started taking off and I was like, whoa, this is like crazy. I was like nervous, I was worried. I was thinking to myself like, dude, this is like, it's happening too fast. That was what my mind was saying, because I went from 1,000 subs to 20K subs to 50K subs to 60,000 subs. I was like, whoa, this is happening like really fast. And instinctively, my brain is trying to fucking downplay everything. Your consciousness is always going to try to like downplay everything and try to keep you down. That's why some of you guys, you may start making strides, but then you have this like self-sabotage that comes in. Or if you've been in pickup for a while, you start making progress, and then you have this urge to like give it up. That feeling of your brain wanting to go down is nothing more than a sign that you've made growth. And you need to start to understand, I've made growth now. My brain is trying to stabilize back at baseline. And the one thing I should do is keep fucking pushing right now. Because once you get to a higher level, that's like how you lock in that identity. I don't like those terms, locking in the new identity. But the reality is like the way you lock in the new identity is you actually get to an identity that's even higher than that. So that way your low point is that new identity. Nobody really talks about this point either. I've had several different moments in my journey where I accomplished something that was previously unimaginable or unexperienced. It was either getting a girl that was at a higher caliber, or just running a full interaction like really well, or just having like a crazy epic night that I haven't experienced before, or hitting a new financial level. Some of you guys have probably had this. If you've ever had like a really epic experience in your self-development journey, you accomplished something that you were like never previously accomplished, the following 24 hours, or especially immediately after, right? I've had distinct memories when I closed certain girls, I was laying in bed, I couldn't even sleep. There's this feeling, it's like my body has just experienced a new experience that was outside of this person's identity, and my brain is now rewiring itself to fucking reprogram the mindset to catch up to the new experience. Your identity and your brain is always going to be of a level of entitlement equivalent to what you've experienced in life. The only way you can actually become more confident or more socially savvy or become a better flirter is to step outside of the comfort zone, have the experience. Once the experience has happened, the brain will then go and rewrite itself, right? Like, I've had crippling social anxiety. I didn't read a book and then it changed. I went out and had an experience, and then the brain rewired itself after. All of you guys in here, you all have a certain level of comfort zone. You all have a certain identity right now. You want to go out and push the comfort zone, and occasionally you're gonna have these wins, right? You're either gonna have like a failure or a lesson learned that's gonna make you better for the next time you do it, or if you do it enough times, you'll have a win. When you have those wins, occasionally you're gonna have big wins. You gotta stay with it for a little while. I didn't have a big win initially. I had big wins later on, but once I hit those big wins, I've had these moments where I caught myself like, my brain is fucking rewiring itself right now. The reason I'm pointing this out is because that's what's gonna happen when you hit that new level. And instead of having that self-sabotaging moment, or having your brains giving yourself doubts, you need to recognize you're at that threshold and push further into that. This happened not too long ago. I ran a fucking crazy interaction from open to close. I ran a crazy interaction. And afterwards I was like, that was fucking flawless. From my perspective, I thought it was really flawless. And I went home thinking about it. I was really fucking happy. Not cause I got the girl or anything, just like how everything just lined up so perfectly. And the next day I felt this feeling of my brain was rewiring itself to a new level of identity, a higher level of identity. Like, yo, I'm the dude that could fucking go out and do that shit. Like, that's fucking me. Old me, years ago on my journey, would have thought that and literally stayed home the next night. Beginning of my journey, first like 2 years of my journey, if I ever went out on like a Friday or Saturday and pulled and closed, the next day, I would be so low vibrational energy. Like, I distinctly remember if I went out and pulled and closed, like on Saturday, Sunday, I would literally just buy weed, go to fucking ShopRite, buy a shitload of junk food, get high, pig the fuck out, and sit at home. And I thought it was me kind of like rewarding myself, but in hindsight, it's almost like unconscious self-sabotage. It's like my brain thought I was actually rewarding myself, but literally it's trying to balance out. So when you can catch yourself after those big wins, those are great times to tap into that even further and keep fucking pushing higher and higher and higher in those moments.